might have to reposition this, but as of right now, this is where it's at. Goes in there. Not going to tighten it down just yet. That's not going to be a good place because my other camera is going to label. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the other camera and I'm going to hook that up. First, hang it in place to make sure it's not interfering. That's good. So I'm going to keep it in that spot. Take these side pieces off. Put it over here. And now one thing you want to do is that I have these little charging docks. Every night before I fly, I have these on the charger to make sure these batteries are 100%. You want to do that because the last thing you want to do is try recording. You get to the airport and you have like 20% battery. And these things die very quickly. The batteries are not great with these GoPros. They burn out they die very quickly, especially whenever I record in 4K 60 FPS. I want the best quality video, but it uses up the most power and it causes them to overheat a lot more. Which is one of the reasons why I have a portable battery pack right here that I'm going to use to plug into each of these GoPros, so they can start drawing power from the pack instead of the battery itself, which will reduce the amount of heat that is being exerted onto the camera. So, and this here, not even, let's find where it's at now. Thing in this LCD screen here that the Hero 8 doesn't have, I can get an idea where it's at. No. That is perfectly fine. So tighten that in place. Turn it back off. Don't need to have it on right now. So let's tighten it down. We're good there. Now we have this is the in-flight audio receiver. Pretty much, I'm going to have it plugged into the pilot side, which is where Steve is going to be at, which is my cameraman for the day. One end goes into the panel, and your headset plugs into the other end here, into that end, where this end goes, and the headset plugs into the other side here. You hook this up straight to the GoPro, which I'm going to try to, I want to record it off the camera facing me, but the cable would come down and get in the way, so I have to put it in this camera here and plug it into the camera there. Make sure this audio cable right here is plugged all the way in, because a couple times it was just slightly out and it never captured any of the audio, which was a huge bummer for me. That is about it. I have the battery pack here that I'm going to plug in. It's going to go up in here. I'm going to try to wire that around, which it's a smaller cable, so I'm going to see what I can do to try to get it out of the way. And the other power cable goes right into here. It allows you to record audio and charge at the same time. But this is how I get my audio. It's from N-Flight. It's about like 90 bucks for the entire get-up, but it's worth every penny, because half my videos wouldn't be possible without it. Cool. All right, we are headed off to Carroll County, Ohio. Get a ForeFlight open. KVVS, KTSO. Cool. We're gonna go get some food. Mentioned it before, Carroll County has excellent food there. And it is a bit cold outside. Pending download, let's take care of that real quick while we get her fired up. All right, we did our pre-flight checks. Fuel is good. We have about 13 gallons of fuel. It'll be enough to get us there. You want to check it again there. Might get a little bit of fuel there, but we'll be set. Get us over on the left tank. We're good. So, you don't have to go right now. Just get a little bit, some shots of primer. It was cold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, lock it in place. Prop clear.
Check 1, 2, cool. Pull the mixture out a bit. Just get the heat on a little bit. It's going to get pretty cold up at altitude. Here, just keep your side closed. It's not warm in here, so we're good. Alrighty. Looking at about an hour flight. We have lots of headwind today, unfortunately, but it is to be expected.
Temperature 1 Celsius, dew point -4, altimeter 3027.
3027 for the altimeter.
Joseph A. Hardy, Connellsville Airport.
Automatic weather observation 1813 Zulu. Weather, wind 250 at 4. Visibility 10.
250 at 4. So we're going to take runway 23 and then depart out to the northwest. More like a west departure. Yeah. That's a little home-built airplane that he has over there. I flew with him one time. Real nice guy, very intelligent. Alrighty. Good. Lights are on. We're all set. Is on. Alright. All the traffic, Tomahawk November 2456 Delta is at the T hangars. We'll be taxiing runway 25, Connellsville. Test the brakes coming out. We are good. Definitely going to lean out the mixture a lot. We want to warm up the engine. It is a cooler day. Burn off any of the extra carbon. It's been about a couple weeks since I've flown last. Is your back noise canceling on? Oh. Think about this. I probably should add tape around there so it has a sticky adhesive so it has more grip.
What?
I should probably add like a little bit of electrical tape around there so it has something to adhere to. Well, has a stronger grip.
No, I just need to adjust my glasses. That's why.
Well, when I was turning this on, it fell right off. A lot of rattling coming from the plastic panels over here. It's really annoying. So you've probably seen this guy once or twice if you watched my other video. Only 300 some views on it. But he was in there partially. He was with me when my panel lights died. He wasn't with me whenever I was flying back. I was not certified. Well, I was certified. It just wasn't night current, so I couldn't fly with passengers at night at that point in time. And besides, it was, I didn't want to have a passenger with me during that anyways. Dropped him off back at county, came back here. And that was, I think, the last time he flew with me. No, actually, there was one other time he flew with me. We went out to Carroll as well for breakfast, but didn't record that. Needed to get up in the air again, and I'm glad I'm doing that today. Got up here much later than I wanted to, because I was planning on being out here like 6 in the morning, but here I am 6 hours later. Fuel pump on, mixture full rich, 1800. Cool, left mag, good drop, back to both. Right mag, good drop, back to both. Repeat on, good, back up. Yeah, here, extend your legs out, extend your legs out, yeah. Your controls are full motion, and back to idle. Doesn't want to idle, so whenever I'm flying, keep your legs extended, okay? Even if it's by the rudder pedals, I need to have this free and clear. If you have to, if you want to slide back a little bit, you can. That's what I recommend doing. If you do feel too cramped or if it's interfering with the rudder pedals, just slide the seat back if necessary. All right, oil temperature is a little bit cool, so I'm going to pull the mixture out, raise it about 1600 RPMs. And from there, I'm going to let it warm up a bit more. Then from there, we'll take off with the northwest departure. Alrighty, we're ready for takeoff. Collins traffic, Tomahawk November 2456 Delta is taking off runway 23, and we will be departing to the northwest. Collinsville. A little bit of left to right crosswind. Hate this shimmy. Shimmy! 60 knots. Nice and smooth rotation. Alright, 500 feet above the ground, start making our turnout. Colonel traffic, Tomahawk 56 Delta, making right turn out to the northwest, final call, Colonelville. Turn up the mic volume a little bit.
It was, I forget what airport, but we just got there right after the dinner rush. It was a wing.
Du Bois. Du Bois.
Traffic, Skylane 727 Papa Fox is 7.3 on a final on the RNAV 29, Indiana, Jimmy Stewart, 737 Papa Fox.
Yeah, that was Du Bois. I remember that.
That was the last time we flew.
Yep, that was a night flight. I do remember that. Yep.
So we went through Pittsburgh's airspace.
Yeah, I got flight following that day. Yeah, I remember that. That was a fun flight. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was. was a fun flight. Every flight with you is always fun.
I appreciate it. Try to keep it entertaining.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is one of the benefits of being able to own and fly your own airplane, because you just go out for $100 hamburger, is what we like to call it, but we're just going out for a little cross-country flight, getting some breakfast. Well, it's pretty much lunch at this point, but I didn't eat anything today, so it's considered my breakfast.
Yeah. Same.
It's really hazy out today. I noticed that coming in, where the mountains are usually pretty visible. They really weren't all that visible today. It's pretty hazy. Visibility isn't at the best, but it's more than what you'd consider VFR. So, we'll be there in 51 minutes. Get there, get our food, then go straight back to Allegheny County. That wasn't me. I don't know why people activated the runway lights, because that's what that was.
Okay, I was wondering what the heck that was.
Okay, we're out cruising on to 3,500 feet, level off. Pull throttle back. Not only is it hazy, it's a little bumpy up here right now too. We're going to be under the Pittsburgh class Bravo, so we got to keep our altitude below 4,000 because that's where the outer shell begins, and you do not want to be encroaching on the Bravo. The thing I like about having this, there's a lot of airplanes out today, and I can see a good bit of them on the ADS-B.
Final 29, Indiana.
We're getting a bit of headwind, not 13 knots like this was calculating, but we are getting a little bit of headwind. About 100 knots of airspeed and about 93 over the ground. Well, 95 airspeed, 93 over the ground. So, definitely not bad. Could be a lot worse.
Hey, we could not be flying.
Well, the traffic's got.
Yeah, we could be on the ground driving.
It is 8
Yeah.
miles to the north.
I wouldn't be going there if I was driving, but...
Free for runway 23, Connersville.
No, but like you said, it could be worse. Worse is not in the air.
Right. Yeah, one of the big things I wanted to do today was make a video, because I had a comment asking me, and it was actually something I was wanting to do, recommendations and tips for upcoming private pilot check ride.
Oh,
That's something I wanted to do, and at home I have a sheet with some key points that I wanted to talk about. Like, I don't script my videos. I don't script anything I say. I just talk. It's just that with certain things, if I start talking about one particular point, I'll go down a rabbit hole of that point, then forget to mention 3 other points that are also just as important.
yeah.
So I want to have that to keep me on track, and that's something I just didn't bring with me today. I'm kind of upset about that, because I was wanting to make that video today. Depending on how this footage turns out, I might actually use the flight back as the overlay footage while I record in my basement.
Yeah.
On the computer. But yeah, so okay, so what we have back there is the Stratus 3 ADS-B in receiver. Now what you can see here on the I can enable this, that's another aircraft that shows it's 4.6 miles directly ahead of me, 1,200 feet below me. And it's very important to have this kind of situational awareness, because especially on nice days like this, pretty hazy as you can tell, but on nice days like this at this time of the year, everybody and their mother is out flying. And there's another 2 airplanes over there you can tell that are really close and around my altitude. And before I pulled out the phone to start recording, there was already another aircraft, about 2 or 3 other aircraft that were in the area as well. So having the iPad 4 with ADS-B in, you can either get a 345 transponder, Garmin, other transponders that are ADS-B in. or the Stratus 3 receiver, it gives you this situational awareness, and I feel it is one of the most important things you can get, especially if you're flying around busier areas. Now, that's just my 2 cents, my recommendation to that. I will not leave anywhere without this. I have another iPad. Oops. I have another iPad. Set up. I have another iPad in my bag as a backup that goes into that RAM mount, but I don't really use it all that often as I thought I would. Oop. It's a little bumpy out here today. But yeah, so that's basically the basics of this. There's a lot more functions to it. Oh, you have all the Jefferson plates, the airfields. If you guys want, I'll go over in another video that goes over it a bit more. I'm not the most informative about it, but I can give you a good idea. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, it's bumpy today.
Billy traffic, Cherokee 26, X-ray left downwind 15.
It was like one of our roads.
Which one right below us?
No, I mean like how it's so bumpy.
Oh, yeah.
It feels like one of our roads.
Welcome to Pennsylvania, where it's not even smooth in the sky.
29.
I like that view. Maybe I should angle it up a little bit more, but I mean, I think that's a good view though.
Yeah, that's a nice view.
What I want to do is add a camera like underneath the tail.
Oh,
I want to add that.
And then add one that's looking out.
Like aiming forward, we can see the gears and everything. But I don't know what kind of mounts to get that would be safe out there, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be perfect for this camera because I have a case, a protective case to put on the outside.
Yeah.
So if it gets hit by any bugs or anything, or if this is an extra protrusion now coming from underneath the tail, you know? Either way. I still have a long way to go in this recording game. Part of me wants to maybe move this up a bit more, but the problem with it on an angled windshield like this, the more you move it up, the closer it gets to you.
Yeah.
Sure, traffic, camera 20, go Mike on a final, runway 29.
We're a good 35 minutes away still.
Is farmland down there? Farmland and a couple ponds.
Yep. It is bumpy up here. But turbulent too.
Like I said, like our roads.
Yeah.
Very bumpy.
So, at the time of recording this video, I'm a decent bit over 1,500 subscribers. It's absolutely insane with how, thank you. It's absolutely insane how fast it grew and how much that video blew up. 660,000 views as of an hour ago. It's absolutely incredible. I had an idea that video would get, you know, a good amount of views, but I didn't understand or think that how fast it would grow, the amount that it did. I really hope that's my kickstart into something bigger, greater with this. I want to take this channel somewhere. I want to, just again, as I stated in my very first video, to share my experiences as a pilot. I hope my videos gain traction and I can make something of it. That's my end goal. It'll help me out a lot and, again, share everything with you guys. So if you watch my videos, I thank you. I really do appreciate it. One thing that I have to get used to, though, is
Talking?
not really the talking. It's just, I have to have an understanding that not everybody's going to watch the entire video, you know? Like in the video where I took my dad up, there's so many questions within the video that if they would just watch the end of it,
4 miles to the north, inbound,
well, I'm going to turn this down a little bit, that if they would just watch the entire video, most of their questions would be answered. You know, I explain everything in the end of the video, from the 12-minute mark all the way to the end. It's just a monologue of me talking about everything that happened, how I set it up, the situations. You know, I explain everything there, and if people were to watch the video, they would get their answers from that. I gotta understand that not everybody watches the entire thing. In fact, from 85 to 98% of the people who click my video don't even watch the ending part of it. Because it shows analytics of it, and if I put this in the video, I'll have it right here. I'll take a screenshot of the analytics and post it right in the video. But yeah, I answer most of the questions that you might have in the video. I understand it gives me watch time, but just take a sit, sit back, relax, and watch the video. Most of your questions will be answered. I try to watch the comments. I get notifications on my phone, and I answer it as much as I can. But yeah, so again, if you're watching my videos and if you're a regular viewer, I really do appreciate it. I talked with a guy which I cannot remember his name, I apologize if you're watching, who actually contacted me not too long ago about potentially buying my airplane. We can't really come to an agreement on price. I'm wanting a bit more than what he's willing to spend. But he still watches my videos. He's a great guy to talk to, and he has a strong interest in this type of airframe. It's a great airplane. Now, the Tomahawk has the nickname of the Tomahawk. Now, most of you probably know the story, but if you don't, I'm going to go over it with you. So this airplane was designed and built, first came off the production line in 1977. They have the 78 models through 82. I think it's 80 or 81 where the Piper Tomahawk, they've released the second variant with multiple improvements, but the first year the Tomahawks were not that great. They had, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but what I was in the understanding of was when they produced the airplane, it had less of the ribs and it had less structural components than what they certified the airplane with, which caused the breaking off of some of the tails. Now, I think that is a bit, and I'm not sure about that, but that's one of the things I was told. But what is certain, one of the things that gave the Tomahawk was its stall spin characteristics, which is actually, ironically, one of the key design features was the stall spin characteristics. Now, with the Cessnas and the 150s and 152s, which is what Piper was trying to compete against back when they designed this, they wanted to have something to, again, as I said, to directly compete against it. So they sent out a questionnaire to about 10,000 different CFIs. What do you want in a plane? What do you want in a two-seater trainer? One of them was cabin space. Now this is one of the roomiest cabin spaces you can get. And of all of the two-seater airplanes, you're not going to find more room in a plane than this. I'm 6 foot, 210 pounds. You are what? 5 what?
5'9", 5'10", depending. And like 140.
Not the biggest person, but I mean, look how much room there is between us. And any pilot knows, like, this is a lot of room for a two-seater. And even I took the guy I was mentioning earlier, who has a plane a couple hangar spots down from me. This dude's 6'3", 230 pounds, and he was able to fit in here without much of a problem. And it's a very, very roomy aircraft. And the visibility of this thing, you cannot get a better plane for visibility than this. The only time you're going to get a better visibility is if you get like an air coupe, you get some of the Grummins, or if you're big money, the P-51D Mustangs. But good luck getting one of those. But this is excellent visibility. Now there were a couple other design features about this airplane that I just simply do not know of, do not remember. Oh, actually one of them was the fuel selector switch, which is right here. It's not a huge portion of it, but it's pretty notable because you don't see any other airplanes with a big red lever for fuel selecting right here in the center. This has it. That was one of the key design features of it. I'll put a picture right here because you can't see it, but I'll show you right here. But yeah, those are some of the basic design features of the airplane. There are some others that I can't really think of, but that's what made this airplane. That's what Piper took into account based off the surveys and built a plane that fit the entire criteria. Now, what gave it the name the Tomahawk was the stall spin characteristic, because the 150s and 152s basically got itself out of a spin. You know, it was very easy to. Nobody really had problems with it. This, on the other hand, One of the key design features of this airplane was for you to have to apply real spin characteristics to get out of a spin. It's going to have real characteristics. And what it would happen, I've never done a spin in this thing before, and I'm not going to. I know how to do it, but I'm not going to.
You're only going to have to use it if you need it.
Right. But anyways, what it would do is it would get itself into a flat spin. So what you'd have to do is apply opposite rudder, neutral aileron, and a little bit of down pressure on the elevator. If I can find a clip, I'll post it. But what the airplane does is that it snaps into a really quick roll and puts it straight nose down, which is a big problem. If you're going too fast, you can easily overspeed and rip the airplane with the airplane. What a lot of the pilots at this time didn't understand of what to do is how to get out of a spin properly, because what they were training in the Cessnas at the time basically got itself out of a spin. So pilots ended up getting themselves killed in stall spin accidents. That's what gave it the name the Tomahawk. So they fixed the issues in 79 and 79, 80, and the newer models. This particular 79 model has the strips, the stall strips on each side, the inner and outer, which helps with the stall characteristics of the airplane. And it's not a problem with this thing at all. But just like any other good airplane that started off rough, it has a bad name to it, which drove the market out for it, which is why it only was in production for a couple of years. They're not very valuable. They're pretty cheap in comparison to a Cessna. And again, that's the biggest reason. Even though when it comes to performance, when I was climbing out of Connellsville back there, I was getting almost 1,000 feet per minute climb. Me being 210 pounds, this guy being about 150 pounds, with half tanks of fuel, almost, and a good amount of stuff in the back there, we were getting almost 1,000 feet per minute climb rate. It is a little bit on the cooler side, where it's about 6 degrees Celsius, 7 degrees Celsius. But still, you're not going to get that kind of climb performance in any other airplane of this price point. Now, this does have the 125 horsepower engine upgrade. The prop that it has, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's angled for best climb. So that definitely does help, but you're not going to get better performance for the price point for a certified airplane.
Wayne County traffic, south 79057.
The only thing is, this thing is slow. It does not like to glide very far either. I can get about 1,000 feet per minute descent rate, holding it at 65 knots on approach to landing. So it's more efficient than a slip, I could argue. So you're not going very far, very fast, but when it comes to climb, that's where it's the best at. And that's something I prefer because my airport sits at the base of a mountain. If I want to go anywhere south, I'm going to have to get up to at least 6,000 feet because of all the mountain ranges that are there and farther past. But yeah, this is get up, cruise. This is a good time builder. Burns about 6 gallons per hour on typical cruise. If you're depending on how much you're pushing the engine, you know, if you're in the pattern, it might burn a little bit less.
243 Julia, be departing
But,
to the
yeah,
east.
pretty much the gist of everything. I like low wings a bit better than high wings. For some reason with the Cessnas, I always had a hard time landing the Cessnas. I could always get it on the ground, but I was very inconsistent with my landings. It took me a little bit of time to get used to this particular airplane, but everything just feels so smooth with this. Everything is just right here. You know, you got your throttle, your mixture, your fuel selector switch on a big panel right in the front. Yeah, it does limit your ability to put different things on the panel, you know, like adding extra GPSs, but this thing isn't certified for a whole lot. Like, an autopilot does not exist for this thing. So with the exception of a single axis wing leveler, I think is certified for it, but I'm not even sure about that. We have one guy in my group who is all about the new technology. He's trying to find everything he can for this thing, but autopilots just simply don't exist. So it's not something you really have to worry about. It's a basic 6-pack airplane. You can go if you want to put a 650 in, just a couple G5s. I personally am not going to spend that kind of money on an airplane like this Because again, it's not very capable. It's a great time builder, but it's not very capable. But it's a fun little plane to fly, great time builder. I enjoy it. But I am looking for something a bit better performing. I am looking to upgrade. I'm ready for that step. I'm looking for a potential Comanche or a Mooney, earlier model, a C or an F model, depending on the price point of the J's, but prices have skyrocketed in recent times, so it's going to be really hard to find anything in a decent price point.
Well, that's everything going up. Even
Oh, yeah.
cars.
Oh, yeah. But there was this airplane, it was a Mooney M20E I found before I bought this thing. They wanted $35,000 for it. It was at Butler Airport, you know, right? I could have driven there.
Yeah.
By the time I got a hold of him, they were like, I got a hold of him the day after he posted the listing, and there was already somebody out there doing a pre-buy when I was talking with him on the phone.
Wow.
It's sold. Now you can't find a Mooney M20E for a decent price anywhere below $90,000. The only ones you're finding below 90 grand are ones that have a number of issues with it, or just have wear and tear to it. High time engine, older outdated avionics. You know, the buying power, as of right now, is very low. Don't have much of it, which is unfortunate. Which I'm happy I got this when I did, because if I would have waited a couple more months, I wouldn't even have a plane. I wouldn't have been able to afford it. Start maintaining our altitude. There's a little hilltop with trees, so we're going to clear, then we'll continue our descent from there. Start slowing it down. Let's notch flaps in. Aiming for the notch right, aiming for the line right above, right beyond the 25. Start slowing it down. Alright, a little fast, a little high, but not a big deal. Float it past a little bit, but aiming a little flat. Don't get me wrong, I came in a little flat, but I hit my mark, so.
Plenty of food options here. View of the runway.